Sorry, wrong button. Hold up. There we go. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another late night stream. And this FNAF movie trailer completely caught me by surprise. And it sucks so much. Alright, so breakdown for a second. The FNAF 2 movie teaser, it's a very short teaser. I'm not even gonna call it a trailer because it only is like for 30-40 seconds and we barely see anything. But it's really the first time we ever got to see anything substantial about the FNAF 2 movie that's coming out December 5th of this year and everything, other than like behind the scenes animatronics, like teaser work that I've shared on previous streams and everything. So this is the first time we've actually seen like substantial stuff from the movie and everything. And they just so happen to release it now. Because if you don't know, I am currently in Arkansas. Not gonna say where specifically, but if you are somewhere in the southern part of the US and everything, you know that we are currently in the midst of a historic tornado, hail, and flooding rainfall event. So you're telling me, of all days for you to release the teaser for the FNAF 2 movie is on a day where we are having like a currently historic weather event and everything. And by the way, we are still in the midst of it. That's why I'm trying to keep this stream short and everything, mainly because we're just going to be focused on the FNAF 2 movie teaser and everything. That's really what this is going to be focused on and everything. But yeah, we're not even out of the thick of it, of the weather event either. But I want to do a quick stream just to dive into the FNAF 2 movie teaser and everything, because I have been waiting for any news or any excuse to talk about the FNAF movie at all. And I'm glad that I finally got an excuse to talk about it and everything. I'm excited for it. Very similar to what we did with the Secret of the Mimic trailer and everything. I'm going to be playing it just straight run through for anyone who hasn't seen the trailer, because it has been out for like a day. So I know I'm late to the party, but once again, with the weather event and everything that's still going on to this day, I feel like I have some excuse. But for those who haven't seen the trailer and everything, I'm going to play the trailer just straight through, and then we're going to go over again, and we're going to go over the frame by frame Easter eggs and point out all the Easter eggs, all the things that I found very interesting. Figure out, maybe we can figure out what the whole twist and turns of what this movie is going to be. So I am very, very curious. And yeah, Blumhouse, how dare you release this trailer the same day as going through a severe weather event? That I couldn't do the stream the day that this trailer came out, or hell, even the hour this trailer came out. I had to wait a day and a half before I could even react to the trailer and do a stream on it. I'm now late to the party, unfortunately. All right, so once again, we're going to just have the trailer play through and everything for those who haven't seen it, but also so I can see it again, because just so to see if I can pick up anything else, because I have seen the trailer. I don't know if this is like a huge spoiler or anything, but I have seen the trailer just, in my own time and everything, preparing for the stream and everything, just to get some thoughts together before we turn the camera on and everything. But we're also going to play it again to see if I can notice anything different in another run through. So without further ado, here is the FNAF 2 teaser for the movie that's coming out December 5th of 2025. Once again, it is only like 40 seconds, so it is pretty short.
Welcome back. Are you ready to start the show? Count with me now. 5, 4, 3.
They're out there, Mike.
2.
Where?
1.
Everywhere.
Showtime!
All right, so there you go. There is a trailer. So now let us go frame by frame on this trailer. So let's go. All right, this is the part where I was looking forward to. This is the part where I get to really flex my FNAF knowledge and show off everything I know about the series, then relay it to you. Because all this information that just is consumed my brain about FNAF, lore, timeline, Easter egg, characters, especially related to the original 4 games and everything, I just have so much information just stored in my memory and everything that I need some excuse, some outlet to share it off with. And that's kind of why I wanted to start streaming, especially doing stuff FNAF related. But, all right, so right here, I know, like I said, we're going frame by frame. This is the poster that we saw from the FNAF 1 movie and everything. Because you can see it's original because it's original FNAF 1, Freddy, Foxy, Bonnie, Chica, the core 4, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, Get Ready to Rock. And you can see it's very faint, but this is like a glass shard. This is like another piece of glass over here, broken. So yeah, so very clearly, this is a poster that was originally framed in the original Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria location for the first movie. But now the glass is broken because we know at the end, spoiler, I guess, but at the end of the first movie, what's her name? Abby. Yeah. Abby, as a way to like get with like all the kids' souls and everything and get revenge on William Afton, who was at that point in the Springtrap Golden Bonnie suit. Abby went to the wall of all the kids' drawings, everything, and then drew on one of the drawings saying that the person, the man in the yellow Golden Bonnie suit, is the one that killed you and is why your souls are restless. And that's why the animatronics cause William Afton to get spring locked. Great scene, by the way. And then have him get locked away in the back room of the pizzeria. And that's how the movie ends and everything. So we know the pizzeria was torn apart in that moment, everything. So this is the aftermath of that. And we also know, this is not something that many people know, but I know, and I want to relay information to you. We know just from behind the scenes when it comes to the movie and everything, the FNAF 1 movie location wasn't CGI. It was an actual location that people built from the ground up. It was from an old Home Depot warehouse that they transformed into the Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria for the movie and everything. So yeah, it was not CGI. It was completely legitimate from the ground up. People built an actual pizzeria on set for the movie. I bring that up because I'm sure we're going to see it later on as well. But the second movie for the second location, they built it in the same area, literally right next door. You can literally see the remnants of, hey, this is the pizzeria from the old Home Depot location that they made the first location at. Well, now across the street, this is the movie set they made the FNAF 2 pizzeria, and you can see they're across the street from each other. So I wonder if it's going to be a plot point in the movie of the FNAF 2 and FNAF 1 location are together, and you can see them. Because from the games, we know FNAF 2, from a time perspective, technically takes place before FNAF 1. FNAF 2 takes place in 1987 through the Czech, and FNAF 1, we've always assumed, takes place in like 1992, 1993 from the paychecks. All right, once again, frame by frame. This is clearly an endoskeleton, and it is the Endo 02 or Endo B, 1B. It's something like that. But we know it's the Endo 02 or 1B. I can't really remember because there's so many different endoskeleton series, so apologies. But yeah, this is like the Endo 01, 02, OB, something. It's the second version of the endoskeletons. We know this because the first version of the endoskeletons has a very like triangle, pentagon, very tight square faceplate mouth area. But you can see here the face, the mouth, is way more curved and rounded, which we know is the second version of the endoskeleton.
Welcome back. Are you ready to start the show?
Obviously, are you ready to start the show? That is obviously Matthew Lillard, William Afton, the GOAT. But did you catch that? I want to play that again. Did you catch that? I'm going to play it again. Right? I'm going to play it again. Listen. Not only, I know it's very hard to resist Matthew Lillard's very buttery voice, but listen to the background. Listen very, very closely to what's, try to do your best and ignore Matthew Lillard's buttery voice and listen. What else do you hear besides Matthew Lillard's voice?
Welcome back. Are you ready to start the show?
Obviously, we know that dun 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 is the grandfather clock chime piano theme, and obviously we know that grandfather clock music is the puppet, because we know, once again, FNAF 2 is the first location where the puppet marionette appeared. And for those who don't know how the game works and everything, you wound up the music box and you heard that song over and over and over and over and over and over again, to a point where you go insane for how much you hear that song and everything. But you keep the music box wound because it keeps the puppet inside the gift box and keeps it at bay and keeps it tamed. And if you run out of juice, the music box is no longer wound. That's when the puppet gets out of the gift box and instantly kills you. It's instant death. And we know the puppet is tied to Charlie Charlotte, who is Henry's daughter. I don't know if the movie will go that far, if Charlie Charlotte will be named, Henry will be revealed in this movie and everything. That will be crazy. But also wouldn't surprise me as well, because, you know, we also have people like Vanessa in the first movie who's now appearing in the second movie. Springtrap is now in the FNAF 1 location for some reason. So it's hard to say if like Charlie Charlotte will be named and like Henry will play a part in the movie and everything, but I think it will be interesting. I think it'll be really interesting and kind of cool if at least at the very minimum, maybe not Henry, but at the very minimum, Charlie Charlotte is named as the puppet. I think that would be cool.
Count with me now. 5, 4.
Gone to Fitz, my friends. Obviously, this is Abby's handwriting at the house and everything with Josh Hutcherson. Gone to Fitz, my friends. Now, this line is very, very, very interesting. Because if you remember, the whole plot of the first movie is Abby being, I don't want to say a loner social outcast, but they are not very social. And look, there's nothing wrong with that. I am also not social, so I totally get it. But the reason I bring that up is they have some sort of like drawn attachment to the Fredbear animatronics and everything. And they keep referring, Abby kept referring to them in the movie as their friends and everything. And that's why in the movie, they kept trying to like release their souls and keep them at peace and everything. So Abby kept referring to the original core form animatronics as their friends. Gone If It's My Friends, though, is very interesting. Right? That's very interesting. Because why would they be fixing something, right? Because once again, the whole point of the first movie and everything is Abby's drawn to the like souls of the dead kids and the original core form and trunks and everything, but like trying to like fix them or like solve their issues and everything wasn't really a thing in the movie and everything. It was really, she just wants to go to the pizzeria and, you know, be friends with the animatronics and have fun with them and everything and, you know, turn, you know, tables and chairs into like some fort with the animatronics and everything. That's really what you want to do. Never fixing anything. There was never any problems, right? Like, once again, sure, you could say maybe it's referring to the end of the movie where Abby was able to piece together that William Afton in the Golden Bodysuit was the one who killed the kids, and that's why they drew the thing on the wall, and that's how the movie ended. That could be them fixing it, but that doesn't fit cleanly to me. But another thing that fits cleanly is, if I'm not mistaken, the FNAF 2 animatronics, they are very AI based. They are very artificially enhanced, security based, because we hear in the phone guide tapes and everything that they're animatronics with like some programming software. I can't remember exactly what it's called. It's some programming software to detect any intruders, right? Which is very advanced, especially for the time for it being the 80s, right? So we know that the FNAF 2 animatronics, the toy animatronics, are very AI, you know, security based and everything. And we know at the end of FNAF 2 and everything, the toy animatronics get scrapped, and then the old, withered animatronics get repurposed and sent to a later location. That later being the FNAF 1 location. Is it a retcon? Probably, right? But it's just Scott's way of artificial timeline storytelling where it's like, explain why all these toy futuristic security bot animatronics aren't in the FNAF 1 location. Well, that's why. And I know some people believe, I'm also inclined to believe it as well, that the FNAF 2 toy animatronics, not only are they tied to the security database that looks for intruders, right? And is very advanced. I know some people also believe that, very similar to the Funtime animatronics in Sister Location, where a piece of the Funtime animatronics had the souls of the original Core 4 Kids of Missing Children incident. It's the same thing with the FNAF 2 toy robots with the security database. That a piece of their soul is tied to the Missing Children incident. And that could be why Gone If It's My Kids is referring to that. Right? A piece of the Missing Children incident kids that were killed by William Afton when they were looted to the back room are now linked and connected to the toy robot animatronics in FNAF 2. And that could be how Abby is fixing her friends. It's a thought, but it's an interesting thought.
They're out there, Mike.
Hello, Bonnie. Hold up. No, it was very fast. God, I can't do it. All right, that's the best we're gonna get. Hello, Bonnie. Hello, Toy Bonnie. You look great, even if it is for literally a little frame of you. You look great. Is this a closet? Curtain? What is it? What are we hiding behind from Toy Bonnie? I'm assuming it's like a curtain.
Where?
Everywhere.
It's very hard to see, but this is Toy Chica powering up because the blue eyes, but very distinctively, this is the triangle beak. This is the shape of the beak. Now, I will say, Blumhouse Productions, I don't know if this is an issue, a design detail you're going to change in the movie and everything, but I have a slight problem with this. Right, I have a slight problem with this, and I'm going to tell you why I have a slight problem with this. Because we know in FNAF 2, Toy Chica misses and no longer has her beak when she goes on the attack. It's so important that Scott mentioned in one of the random screens he put when we were trying to solve the original core for FNAF 1, 2, 3, 4. That was one of the main Easter eggs that he shared in the FNAF lore community to try to solve his mystery bots story, I guess you can say. And that was one of the details, was in the FNAF 4 minigame, there is a set of toy animatronics that you see on the playground area, and there's a toy Chica on the ground, and then right next to the toy Chica animatronic toy figurine, you can see a little pixel on the ground, that being her beak on the ground. And what is that referencing? Oh, that's referencing FNAF 2, where Toy Chica, when she's on stage with all the other toy animatronics, Bonnie and Freddy, they have their beak. But when they go on the attack, when you see them in the vents or something, or God forbid they jump scare you, their toy beak is no longer there. So, seeing Toy Chica's beak here, when I'm assuming they're on the attack, is very, very weird. I don't know if Blumhouse will actually incorporate that detail. I will be honestly shocked. I will be shocked if not Steel. There's so many different companies out there doing FNAF stuff, it's hard to keep track. But yeah, Blumhouse. I'll be shocked, but in a good way, that if we get that Easter egg, at least maybe for like a one-off thing, maybe even as a joke, if we get a one-off thing of Toy Chica taking off her beak as she's going the attack and everything, I think that'll be great. Like, example, like, you know, a stereotypical thing where it's like, you know, girls take off like their earrings before they're fighting, or guys will take off their necklace or bracelet or whatever. Have Toy Chica take off her beak, put it on a counter, and be like, all right, let's go. Let's kill some people. Like, quite literally, just do that, and I will be satisfied. Just have a simple one-off joke of Toy Chica taking off her beak, and I am satisfied. Okay, and Mango looks phenomenal. Holy. You can also see it's very hard to make out, but obviously that's the other head, the endo head on Mango as well. That's very cool. They're breaking through glass of a window. Yeah, Mango looks great. I have no idea where this is, but very, very cool. Now, this I have a problem with. Now, I don't want to make it seem like I'm, shitting on the movie or want to sound like I'm sour grapes for a second. But this, as much as I like the first movie, and obviously this is a teaser, not a full trailer, things can change. Especially, we can see one thing in trailers, but then the thing we actually get is way different. Sometimes better, sometimes worse. A lot of times worse. But just looking at this scene right here, it's very quick. And that is the problem. That's what I don't like. I want to play this again. So Toy Chica grabs this, I'm assuming teacher. This looks like a school class hallway. You can see like school project, like flashcards or something like that. A lot of classrooms on the hallway, a water fountain. I'll be shocked this is like not a school. Maybe it's where Abby goes to school. I don't know. Maybe this is her teacher. I think that would be kind of cool. But Toy Chica appears from some door, trash compactor, or something. Grabs, once again, I'm assuming a teacher. And then cuts away to Toy Chica now in some like janitor's closet. And then that's it. I'll pause it here. Because this is my problem. This is my problem. I don't like that. Right? Because, let me explain, yeah. So, as much as I liked the FNAF 1 movie, I thought it was fun. I personally had a good time. Now, am I a little bit biased as roasting the glasses because I've been waiting for the FNAF 1 movie to come out for over a decade, so honestly, I was just happy to see it get released. So I was way more forgiving on stuff than just the average, like, casual moviegoer who has no idea what FNAF even is. Sure, I totally agree with that. But my problem is this. They are killer animatronics, right? I want to see gore. I want to see blood. I want to see them actually kill people. Right? I want to see them actually kill people. And I went way more in depth when I did my FNAF 1 movie review and everything. So, not to repeat myself and everything, but I guess it has been a while since I talked about it. But this was my biggest complaint about the FNAF 1 movie. Is they are supposed to be killer animatronics, and we never got to see them kill anybody, right? And it was so disappointing that we never got to see them kill anyone. Like, you had, like, you know, Fotsy run down the hallway, chase after a security guard, chase after one of the bandit people who were, like, looting the pizzeria and everything. Fotsy started off at the end of the hallway, and you saw, like, him move closer and closer and closer to the camera, like this, moving closer to the camera, like this, moving. And then by the time it got, like, here, like that close, like headshot level, it quickly cut. And we assume, based on a quick cut and everything, and Fotsy was moving towards them, we assume that's when Fotsy killed them, but we don't see anything. Very similar in that same scene, there was Hank who was in the supply closet with Bonnie. You see Bonnie in the room with them, powering on everything. And then you see a bit of blood splash on, like, the side, like, door, like, window, right? Because, you know, like, doors have, like, the little, like, pane of glass, right? You see some blood spray on it, and then it immediately cuts to, like, an outside shot looking out in the hallway. You see the door open, and then Bonnie slowly walks out and everything. I'm like, that's it? That's all I get for a killer animatronic? I don't actually get to see Bonnie or Fotsy or anyone actually maul and kill them? Like, come on, give me something. I want to see something. I want to see animatronics actually kill people. I want to see something. Right? Like, I want to see something. To me, it was annoying because it was all quick cuts and outside shots that never got to show off any violence or gore or anything. Like, they're killer animatronics. I want to see something. And the reason why, you know, I feel like people don't really talk about it because it's like, oh, you know, you want to be rated R. It's like, no, that's not what I'm saying at all. I don't want it to be a rated R movie. That's the exact opposite of what I'm saying. Because you can have a PG-13 movie and show off some gore, show off some violence. Right? You can. Right? You can show it off. You can show something. And what makes it even less forgiving is I've seen other movies by Blumhouse. Right? I've seen other movies where they have killer animatronics and they actually show off violence, and they show off violence in creative ways. So I've seen them do it on PG-13 rated movies on low budgets. From the same studio. Like, I've seen them do it. Why don't you do it with FNAF? Right? Like, to me, Megan's a great example. Megan's a movie about a killer girl animatronic that goes on a killing rampage. And some of the violence and death scenes that they're able to show off and everything is very creative, very cool. Like, I want to see something like that. Right? I want to see someone like that. So I don't want to hear about, you know, oh, they can't show off too much violence or too much gore and everything because it's out of the budget, or they want to keep it very family-friendly, safe and everything because, I've seen Blumhouse do it with other PG-13 rated movies. Why don't you do it with FNAF? Right? A popular movie about killer animatronics, I want to see animatronics actually be killer. So I'm hoping, cross my fingers, that we see the animatronics kill someone. Like, actually, that's not a quick cut. But, once again, I'm not trying to, like, store all my eggs in this basket and everything, because it is a teaser. Things can change everything. But I look at this, I'm assuming death scene for this teacher, because I'm assuming this teacher's not going to live after this with Toy Chica. I'm assuming this is where his story ends. Rip, I have no idea if he's in the story for a long time or not, but Rip. But I see this, and I get the PTSD, and not in a good way, of the first movie where it was all quick cuts. We weren't able to see any violence or gore or violence or anything. It was all quick cuts. And I look at this, and I see the exact same problem. And I don't like it. I would love to be wrong. I want to see violence in my movie. It's an October, well, it's not coming in October, but it's a horror-themed movie based on a horror indie game franchise that's made by Blumhouse Productions. Like, I want to see something. They are killer animatronics for a reason. Okay, so let's see for a second. We have Vanessa, Abby, and Josh Hutcherson inside. I'm assuming this looks like their house. I think that's their kitchen, everything, if I remember correctly, from the first movie. And it's dark. They're clearly frightened looking at something. Now, I'm assuming maybe it's just, quick camera trickery work, but based on the darkness and everything, I'm assuming, at least that's how it's being set up, this is them looking at Mangle busting through the window, right? Mangle busts through the window. It has the same, like, dark theme contrast going on, right? And then now they are afraid that, oh, Mangle's busting through the window, right? Especially because Abby here, right? Because Abby was never really afraid of the animatronics in the first movie. Once again, they were always seeing them as the friends. They were wanting to hang out with them and play with them and everything. Obviously, the only time Abby got scared at all from the animatronics was when Chica was trying to stuff Abby in that Springlock suit. And that's when we got a baby reference, which is kind of funny. Because Abby is obviously an anagram for a baby. But, I mean, you see an animatronic with two heads busting through the window, right? Something that you have never seen in the first movie. You're going to be pretty frightened. So I'm assuming this is from the same scene, right? But once again, this could always be quick editing magic where, yeah, we're going to splice two separate scenes together that look like they are from the same scene, but actually they're from two completely different events. But I'm just saying, from the darkness, the shadows, and everything at night, it looks like the same scene. I'm going to go with that. Toy Chica opened a garage door, and now Toy Bonnie holding something, a pen needle. It's not a knife. A sewing needle, a javelin, a stake, something, right? A metal rod, because there's like a little circle rod here, and then this long pointy end and everything. He's holding something, and I'm hoping, just like I was saying with my biggest complaint, I'm hoping we actually get to see Toy Bonnie use this metal stake, rod, something, and we actually get to see him stab somebody, right? We actually get to see them stab a person to death. They bleed out and everything. Stab in the head, chest, something. Like, actually let us get to see the stabbing motion. All right? Do not take this motion I'm doing right now out of context, please. Please don't. But yeah, I'm hoping we actually get to see Bonnie do this stabbing motion. Don't have him go like this with this metal rod and then quick cut to another scene from another part of the city where, oh, now Toy Freddy is now about to kill someone or sneaking up to someone. Right? No, let us actually see something, please. Hello, Balloon Boy. I wonder what Balloon Boy's gonna do. Right? How weird would it be if Balloon Boy is actually able to kill someone? That would be very weird. Right? Like, that's the thing. How do you handle Balloon Boy in this movie? Right? Because obviously he did show up a couple times in the FNAF 1 movie, and I personally got a kick out of it. It was really funny. Especially when Mike first went into the FNAF 1 office and everything, and he opened one of the closets, then you just saw a close-up head of Balloon Boy. That was great. I personally enjoyed that. But yeah, how do you handle Balloon Boy? Because in the game, he doesn't kill you, right? He doesn't kill you. He causes the other animatronics to kill you. His whole purpose is to sneak in through the vents, sneak into your office, and then disable your ability to use your flashlight, which is very important because you have people like, Foxy, for instance, who the only way to keep them at bay and to not kill you is you shine the flashlight down the hallway. But if Balloon Boy was in your hallway, in your office, you could not shine the flashlight down the hallway, and it pretty much was instead you were not going to survive. Right? So I wonder, I don't know if they'll go that far, like, of having, like, oh, someone tries to turn on a flashlight because, like, dark and everything, and then randomly Balloon Boy appears, and now it's like, oh no, my flashlight's not working and everything. I don't know if they'll go that far. It feels very, very oddly specific. And it feels like something that only fans of the game would understand and get. But the casual audience who has no idea what Balloon Boy's purpose is, that seems very odd and confusing. So I have no idea how you handle Balloon Boy. Hey, maybe he jumps out and kills someone. I don't know. And if that's the case, if Balloon Boy actually shows off some killer animatronic tendencies, I may start to love Balloon Boy. And that's a sentence I never thought I would ever say. So, all right, Balloon Boy, kill someone. Okay. Hold up, that was very quick. All right, so we got William Afton in the Golden Bonnie Springtrap suit, picking up a knife. This looks like some warehouse tool shed, because this metal table, metal counter. I wonder where this is. Or maybe, just maybe this is a huge swing for the fences spitball here. But what if this is the first time we see Matthew Lillard as Spring Bonnie rise in this movie? Like, this is his opening scene in this movie. If I'm right, you heard it here first. And I say that because remember, at the end of the first movie, he is locked away in the back room of the pizzeria in the kitchen area. He's locked away. And he's, twitch off in the distance. Well, what if this is him staying back up to his feet, grabbing his knife that we knew he had at the end of the movie, right? That would explain why there's this metal table here. I mean, that's just my thought. Just look at this. And then we see this scene where Mangle grabs someone I can't tell who this is. I'm sorry, but that face is not familiar, so I'm assuming it's just one of the extras who are getting killed. Once again, I hope I actually get to see something of gruesome note. They're killing animatronics for a reason, but Mangle, like multiple arms and legs, is hanging on the ceiling and grabs someone from the floor and brings them and yanks them up, which is quite terrifying and very creative. Mangle might be the most interesting character as far as this movie goes and everything, mainly because of how it's going to be animated and used, right? I am very curious to see how Mangle operates and moves in this movie because of it having multiple arms and multiple heads and multiple legs, and it being an animatronic that's known to, climb on ceilings. Mangle should be very, very interesting to see. And then we get this, which, what's going on here? I have no idea who's driving. It's very blurry, but this looks like someone with long hair. Maybe Vanessa? Right? Maybe this is Vanessa driving. But like it's so blurry that could be any woman figure in the driver's seat and everything. But I'm just assuming, going with the long straight hair and everything, I'm assuming that's Vanessa. That's just my blind guess. But something breaks through this windshield. Are there any hints of like what it is or what it could be or who it could be? Oh, briefly. Okay. This looks like another one of the arms and legs of Mangle, right? That very like bionic steel plating they have on their arms and legs. This looks very similar. God, it's so quick. Right, that looks very similar to this. The same metal, steel, bionic, coiled texture and everything. That looks very similar to this. So that has to be Mangle on top of a car and then using one of the arms and legs to smash the windshield. So that's very cool. Once again, Mangle may have some favoritism, and I'm not opposed to it. Another scene of Abby, Josh, and Vanessa standing in the room, scared, looking up at something, being scared. Maybe it's Mangle. Maybe it's not. They're looking up. Right? They're looking up. Except for Vanessa. She's looking off the side. Like, Abby's looking up, Josh is looking up. Vanessa isn't looking up. What are you looking at? You look tired. And honestly, I don't blame you. I'm tired too.
Showtime!
Is that Vanessa? Right? Where are you? What's going on? I see these metal sewer grates under you. Where are you? What's going on? You're screaming at something, looking up at something. Once again, like I said, I wasn't kidding. We were going frame by frame. Five Nights at Freddy's 2. And now we see Toy Freddy. We got a bit of very, very small blink and you miss it glimpse of Toy Bonnie. Mangle a couple times. Toy Chica briefly. But now we got a full-on rendering of what Toy Freddy looks like. Right? Full-on rendering of Toy Freddy. And honestly, he looks great. I love it. Toy Freddy looks great. It's very weird how everyone is huddled around him and smiling, looking at Toy Freddy and everything. It's very weird, very eerie and everything. Because Toy Freddy, and I'm assuming the other toy animatronics as well, based on what the movie is and everything, it seems like this movie is about the toy animatronics have gone against their AI programming, gone rogue, and now they are in the town, out in public, and just wreaking havoc and killing people. That's why Vanessa said something like, oh, where are they? Josh asked, like, where are they? And, Vanessa said, like, oh, they're everywhere. They being the toy animatronics, right? And they're wreaking havoc everywhere. Now, whether this is before or after the killings have started, I'm assuming it's before, right? Because if it's after the killings or during the killings and everything, wouldn't the people be running away from Toy Freddy if these toy animatronics have been killing people? So I'm assuming this has to be before. This has to be early on in the movie, everything. Now, maybe I'm also reading into this too much, but I look at this scene and I think it's something very, very, very interesting from the timeline. Because, as you know, from the FNAF 2 tapes and everything, since we know FNAF 2 takes place in 1987, we know of a very, very specific event, the Bite of 87. Now, I bring that up because, as we know from the FNAF tapes from Phone Guy, the FNAF animatronics are able to free roam around the pizzeria. Obviously, this isn't the pizzeria. This is a little bit more open world than that. But up until the Bite of 87, the animatronics were able to free roam around the pizzeria, and there was no issues with that. Everyone was fine. It was until the Bite of 87 happened where one of the animatronics, the toy animatronics from FNAF 2, bit someone on their frontal lobe, and they somehow survived. And then ever since that moment is when animatronics had to get shut down, and they were no longer able to free roam anywhere. Right, they were on lockdown. We know that from the tapes and everything. So, to me, I think this takes that little bit detail from the timeline of how the FNAF 2 animatronics were able to free roam around the pizzeria up until the Bite of 87. Then that's when they were on lockdown, not able to free roam anywhere. I think Blumhouse took that phone tape sentence, that detail that we know from the timeline, and they took it to the absolute extreme. It's like, we're not going to have the toy animatronics free roam on the pizzeria. No, that's too boring. We spend so much money and time pulling these animatronics together for real and everything. We're going to get our money's worth. So, no, they're not going to be free roaming in the pizzeria. They're going to be free roaming out in the town, out in the real world, right? So I think it's just taken to the absolute extreme of that detail of animatronics able to free roam before the Bite of 87. Now, whether we see the Bite of 87 in this movie, I think would be pure insanity, because we don't even know what the Bite of 87 is in the games, right? For the longest time, we thought the FNAF 4 Night 5 8-bit minigame, where the FNAF 4 Crown Child was shoved in the mouth of the Golden Freddy, on the stage 01, when he was shoved in the mouth by Michael Afton and his friends and everything, and then he was trying to wiggle out of the animatronic, and his tears, the moisture, was loose in his spring locks until it snapped shut and killed him. We always thought that was Bite 87, but it was the Bite of 83. So, ever since we heard about the Bite of 87 from 2014 in FNAF 1, we have never seen the Bite of 87. Never. right? We've never seen the Baby 7 in action. We don't know who did it. We don't know when. We don't know the context. We don't know anything, right? Like, there's theories, there's ideas out there that, like, Mike Schmidt or one of the other nameless aliases from the checks in FNAF 2, whether it was the Night 5 or Night 6 checks and everything, because there's two names. It was Mike Schmidt and then Jeremy Fitzgerald. One of them is the frontal lobus Baby 7 victim, but once again, that's always just been an assumption. We don't know anything. So I think it'll be weird for the first time for us to see the Baby 7 in action would be the FNAF 2 movie, when for the last decade and some change, we've heard absolutely nothing about the Baby 7. To a point where, is the Baby 7 real? Or is it part of the rogue indie game developer cover up by Fazbear Entertainment? Who knows? But yeah, there we go. There is the FNAF 2 movie teaser trailer. Once again, I use the term trailer loosely, but first look, I would say. First look at the FNAF 2 movie that's coming out December 5th of this year. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited for it. I'm going to see it on release date in the movie theater, just like I saw the first movie. And then very similar to the first movie and everything, I'm going to break down the movie, give my review and everything, give my thoughts on it, my pros, my cons, and everything. And like I said, my pros, like my cons, and like I was said in this trailer reaction, my main complaint, if I had to say one complaint about the FNAF 1 movie, was I never got to see the killer animatronics actually be killer. I never got to see them do any gore, violence, carnage, nothing. Right? It was all quick cuts. It was very, very disappointing. Like, I want to see the animatronics actually kill someone. So, I'm hoping that it happens a sequel, right? Like, pretty much all I can do is knock on wood and hope that it happens a sequel, because I doubt Blumhouse is listening to my streams, giving my thoughts on it, and taking my thoughts into account and being like, huh, that's interesting. They are killing animatronics. We should probably, have them kill people and be more sinister, because in the first movie, they weren't that. I could think that, oh, we don't want to be too violent, too gory in the first movie because we signed on for a 3-year deal and everything. And we want to be safe at first because there's still like a negative stigma of like video game movies out there and everything, of how, no one cares about them. Right? Like, for instance, who wants to see, like, is anyone actually going to see the Minecraft movie that's coming out, like, what, next week or something like that? Right, is anyone actually going to see that? I don't know. Me personally, I'm not. But if you are, more power to you. But I think Blumhouse saw the financial success of the first movie. It's like, okay, we can see that clearly this movie made money. We can clearly do a sequel. We can do a full-on trilogy. People are clearly interested. People clearly want to see and everything. We can now be a little bit more risky. We can now get a little bit more violent. We can now get a little bit more edgier, so to speak. Because we know that, hey, people are going to see this movie. We can now have a little bit more fun with it. At least that is my hope. I hope that the second movie learns its lesson and actually is able to show people being killed by killer animatronics. Right? That is my hope. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the movie trailer and everything. Once again, I'm looking forward to it. I'll be seeing the movie on launch, everything, give my thoughts, my upfront, honest feedback, things I liked, things I didn't like. I'm not paid off by Five Nights at Freddy's, Scott, Steelwool, Blumhouse. Nobody pays me off. Nobody pays me to say anything. I have my actual legitimate opinions and takes and everything. That's what I want to use this platform for, is to share my actual opinions and thoughts on everything. And I feel like if I do go in the territory of having to say certain things or have a certain opinion or intentionally limit myself or have a certain message or a certain opinion or steer a certain way for money and everything, then to me, that's when I'll ultimately hang up entirely because I'm like, no, that's not what I want to do. I want to share my actual honest takes and opinions. I honestly think we should see killer animatronics actually be killer in a movie, right? That's my actual legitimate opinion. And I hope we see in FNAF 2 and everything, but I guess all we can do is wait and see on December 5th of this year and everything. But yeah, that's pretty much all I can say. And once again, I'm not trying to I'm not trying to like pour sour grapes on it, be too negative on the teaser and everything because it is a trailer at the end of the day. Things can change, things can get rewritten, reshoots are a thing, right? A lot of things can change from teaser, trailer, promotion material to the actual release that fans like me actually get to see on release day and everything in the theater. Obviously, things can change. So that's why I'm not trying to like pour too much stock on like, oh my god, I'm not gonna see this movie or don't see this movie because it doesn't look like it's gonna be violent. Like, because I have no idea. I have no idea what this movie's gonna be. I'm just giving my own honest takes and opinions where it's like, I personally think the animatronics should be killer and show some violence. That's my take, my opinion. You can agree or disagree. That's just my take and opinion. But I'm still going to see this movie regardless. I just think I will enjoy a lot more if it did do that. But yeah, December 5th, 2025 cannot come soon enough. And when we do get way more in-depth trailers and more news information on the FNAF 2 movie and everything, obviously we will be doing what we've been doing with this, where we'll be reacting to trailers or reacting to news and sharing our honest takes and opinions on it. And then, yeah, just go from there. Lead up to the FNAF 2 movie that's coming out from, let's see, it's April. So April 4th, December 5th. So quick math, 8 months from now. 8 months from now, we are seeing this movie. Great. All I can say is not Steel Wool. Steel Wool's first, though, with the Secret of the Mimicking that's coming out in 2 months. Can't wait for that. But Blumhouse, hopefully for your other trailers, teasers, other information on the movie and everything, hopefully next time you release something on the movie related, hopefully you release on a day where we're not going for record-breaking weather events. Please. Because I want to react to it as soon as possible, not be the last of the crowd.